But, but Smitty, how is anybody going to trade for Austin Eckler? I don't understand. No one's going to do that in my league, Smitty. Nobody, Smitty. Nobody.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Look, I know a lot of you think the world revolves around you, specifically. You know who I'm talking about, pointing to you. Negative Noah, complaining Caleb, everything's about me, Adam. Look, I understand what you're thinking. And I know a lot of people believe that people won't overreact in your league. But ask yourself the simple question. Number one, hey, ask me this question, Smitty. How many people do you help a day acquire Ekeler? The answer is probably one every other hour. I'm helping somebody acquire through a question, maybe a trade development they've already concocted, and it's all ready to go, and I'm just giving them the green light. Or we literally work through, hey, what about this? Hey, go get Ekeler. Hey, he actually is willing to do that. He's got one win. He's been waiting on Ekeler all year. Ekeler comes out of the bye week and being injured and drops a goose egg on him, or a very bad performance against the Cowboys. We know that, but his owner can't wait. His owner doesn't know. His owner is scared to death about him. He is 28 years old. He is very likely going to be injury prone moving forward. The hope here is we're buying Ekeler at a price tag that is so low comparatively to what he'll be after week number 7 when he blows up. Remember, he played the Cowboys. Remember, this is his first game back from his injury and the bye week. It was going to be a rough outing for him, except for maybe in the touchdown department, which didn't happen. He tried to punch in a touchdown. He was this close to getting the football across the plane. Didn't do it. Didn't get it across. Didn't score. Everybody's disappointed. And I tell you, and maybe you have Ekeler. Maybe you're an existing Ekeler owner out there, and you might not trade him. And that's fine, Bob. But the world does not revolve around you, and you got to ask yourself the question, has anybody made a bad trade in your league this year, Bob? So stop acting like it can't happen. And let me also tell you this, trading's a numbers game. You have to throw out 10, 20 offers before you get one acceptance. If you're not getting that kind of ratio return on your offer, on your amount of offers going out and the amount of offers getting accepted, you're offering probably too good of trade offers. If you offer 20 trades that are heavily in your favor, you're going to be lucky to get one. That's the way the math works out. So if you're sending out 2 offers, 3 offers all week, and you come to me and say, Smitty, no one's trading in my league. How many offers have you sent out, Bob? Well, I sent 1 last night. I sent 2 the other night. So you sent 3 offers in a world where you need 20 to go out for you to get 1 acceptance. Well, I guess, yeah. Then, yeah, that's why you don't have offers. It's not just that your league isn't trading. It's that you don't know how to send trade offers, Bob. You don't know how to send trade offers. Offer in droves. Offer in waves. It's a numbers game. Every 20 offers you send out, maybe you're going to get 1 acceptance. Send out 20 if you want to make a trade. And Austin Ekeler, again, coming off a bad game. Again, we know it's against the Cowboys. His owner, his current owner, knows this, but what is their situation? Are they 1 win into the season? Are they maybe 2 wins but depleted in other areas, lost their quarterback, got bad AR5 news today that he's out for the season? And, you know, we knew that was going to happen. Maybe they had T-Law, he went down. Maybe they're in shambles. Maybe this owner's just fed up and they need a swing. I can tell you one thing right now. A person willing to trade Austin Ekeler is going to have the mentality of, why not? What else do I have to lose? I can't tell you how many times I'm told, hey, Smitty, I traded away Ekeler. Or in another deal, Smitty, I traded away Bijan for a ham sandwich. And the following statement always comes right after they tell me, and they're very upset at themselves, you can tell. and they're very worried about telling me that they messed up and sent some stupid offer out, and they always justify it by saying this little phrase here. Well, I figured I had to try. My wide receivers were in shambles, or my running backs were in shambles, or I had bye weeks coming up, Smitty. They're literally trying to justify their awful trade decision. And I can't tell you how many people, even people on my watch, everybody's making bad trades once in a while. So don't think that the Austin Ekeler owner is immune. Don't think that Steve from accounting isn't sitting there going, I don't think I'm going to work at an 80% capacity today. I think today is trade day. I think today's trade offer day. I'm going to go to Milton in repo, and I'm going to offer Milton a trade offer for Ekeler right now, because Milton, he has Ekeler. He's got one win. He's scared to death. I saw him at the cafeteria earlier, and his head was down. He didn't order his normal bowl of Jell-O. This guy's absolutely in shambles. I saw him at the water cooler just filling the water up, and it just kept overflowing. He didn't know where he was. So here you go. He's sitting there. You're Bob. You're in accounting. You're doing your TPS reports. You're a full productivity Bob. Congratulations. What a good worker. While everybody else in your work league's working at 50% capacity today, sending offers out. Guess what's going to happen? You're going to be sitting there typing your TPS report, incoming email notification. Yeah, the guy in repo just got taken to the cleaners because you didn't step up and send the offer. Don't assume other people aren't going to rip off the Ekeler owner before you do. And no, I'm not here to make even Steven trades for you. We are here to get one over on your opponent. I'm not here to make an amazing deal so everybody can hug it out at the end and return to my desk next week, and we'll maybe work out another deal. Even trade, Steven. I'm not here to make an even trade for you. I'm here to have you make a trade that wins a league. Sometimes this can end friendships. Sometimes nobody wants to trade with you again. But all we can worry about is making one great trade at a time. And this is the man that can help you return to glory. Now, who could you trade away? Let's take a look at a couple of the potential maneuvers you can make. Let's say you have a Josh Jacobs that's sitting on your roster. I tried to walk someone through this trade last night, and they didn't want to do it. So don't tell me you can't get Ekeler when I get pushback from people I'm even trying to help. But Ekeler is the target, and you're trying to get Ekeler, and you have Jacobs, and I believe it was Evans. And they had these two individuals both on the block, and they said, who should I trade? I kind of want to maybe get out of Jacobs, maybe get out of Evans. I said, go get Austin Ekeler. They said, are you sure? Are you sure, Smitty? Didn't want to do it. Didn't even want to do it. Couldn't convince them to do this trade. This was last night. Ekeler can be had. And players like Jacobs and Evans tied together. Or maybe Evans and, think of a player like, let's see here. Let's call it Jacobs, and I'm trying to think of even a player that your boy likes that I don't even want to trade away, but I'm trying to make this something that's very, feasible. Let's go to thefantasyfootballshow.com rankings and pull up the thefantasyfootballshow.com rankings and look at a couple names. I'm going to say, let's call it either like a Waddle or a DJ Moore. DJ Moore would be a perfect example. Okay, so we're worried about DJ Moore on 1,000 fronts, right? We're worried about DJ Moore, DK Metcalf. Those would all be good examples of Jacobs and DJ Moore. Jacobs and DK Metcalf for an Austin Ekeler. Not everybody's going to do it. And there might be an Austin Ekeler owner out there right now in the chat that's going to go, Smitty, I would never trade Austin Ekeler for this. That's the whole point, Bob. That's the whole point, Bob. We're not here making even Steven trades. We're here to capitalize on the vulnerable owner, the vulnerabilities of a person that is one win that has 1 win, maybe 2 wins, maybe 0 wins. That's the whole point. And the fact that Ekeler's been out, there's a high likelihood that the Ekeler owner, who's been out for almost the entire season, that came back to get the owner their first win, where he crapped the bed on them and had a horrible week number 6, is now another loss into the year. It's all a psychological game, and it's all a game of probabilities. It's all a game of math. It's all a practice of strategy and repetition. And when you're trading, it's about what is this owner looking at in the mirror. Get yourself into the other owner's shoes. Don't just go stabbing at their roster, trying to send them Jacobs and DJ Moore when maybe they need a quarterback. And maybe you have an extra quarterback. Maybe you actually have to give up the quarterback you don't want to give up because you have 2 pretty close quarterbacks and you got to bank on Jordan Love. Something like that might need to be required. That's it. So Ekeler is the move. DJ Moore and Jacobs is the play if you've got it. Other running backs, again, going to the fantasyfootballshow.com rankings, and we take a look at this this list of RBs. Let's say you have let's see here. Let's say you have Barkley. Let's use Barkley as an example. One more example on Saquon Barkley. Let's say you have Saquon Barkley and you want to trade him away for Austin Ekeler. Now, granted, Barkley didn't have like the best game himself, but he started to come around in the fourth quarter. They started to use him. He had some big runs. You might be able to do Barkley plus a smaller piece right here for Austin Ekeler. And again, get yourself into the shoes of the other owner. What's the record? Okay, get into that mindset. What do you do if you've got 1 win? You're kind of in desperation mode. You're in let's mix it up mode. So some of your verbiage is going to be about mixing it up. Hey, why don't we get a trade done? You know, not hey, give me Ekeler. Why don't we get a trade done, Bob? And Bob says, I don't know, what were you thinking? Don't even ask for Ekeler right away. Ask for another player that you can't get. Somebody you'd be okay with getting, but another player. See what he says. Let him say no to you so he's controlling the situation. Let him feel in control. He doesn't want to give up Ekeler, but you got to put him in the best position and lighting to give him up. Now, if you put him in the best lighting and position, and you put yourself in the best vantage point and angle to acquire Ekeler from him, and he doesn't trade him, he was never going to trade him anyway. And that's just the nature of trading. I can't guarantee. This is where the person, the keyboard warrior, no one's trading Ekeler, Smitty person in my chat doesn't understand that in certain situations, the owner of a certain player in a certain league may never trade that player. It could be Adam Thielen. They're never going to trade Adam Thielen. They love him. Doesn't matter what you offer them. There are certain players that won't be acquirable. So that could be Ekeler. It may not be. Everybody's situation is different. But I'm going to tell you this. Barkley could almost get you Ekeler straight up from somebody that's had 1 win or 0 wins walking into week 6. He's supposed to come and save the day, this man Ekeler. He doesn't, and now they lose again, and they're looking at Barkley saying, well, what else can you give me? What can you top off this trade? What kind of window dressing? What kind of icing on the cake can you throw into the deal? You're very, very close to getting a deal if the person's in that mindset and situation. If they've got 3 wins, I bet you they're a lot less likely to trade Austin Ekeler. I bet you got to throw in a whole lot more as a side piece in order to get Ekeler. You have to get into the mindset of the owner. Okay, this may not work in all 7 of your leagues. This might work in only 1 out of 7 leagues. And in that, you have to offer a multitude of offers, maybe not 20 to this owner and overwhelm them, but you have to get into at least a conversation, a 2 or 3 offer conversation, or a one-on-one conversation where only one offer that gets tweaked needs to be had, where you get your foot in the door and say, let's make a deal. Don't mention Ekeler. Come in later. Hey, what other running back do you have? Oh, Ekeler. I don't want Ekeler. Ekeler, what? He came back. He didn't even do anything. Start getting them to defend Ekeler. They start defending Ekeler to you. They're almost in their mind selling Ekeler to you. They're almost just injecting a little bit of doubt themselves and a little bit of sales tactic to you, and then they feel good about themselves. They feel like they're getting progress done. They're heading toward a goal when they start arguing Ekeler and convincing you Ekeler's not that bad. So it's all about tactic, strategy, getting in the shoes of the individual you're trading with. Now, that's today's trade tip. That's this week number 7's trade tip of the week. Some of you are going to not hear it. It's going to go in one ear and not even go in and fall out the same side. But I'm here to tell you that this guy can win your leagues. You got to be careful. He is 28 years old. There is some risk involved. Certainly, this is a guy I told every single one of you to avoid for good reason. He hasn't done anything to date, but that doesn't mean we don't like him. That doesn't mean he doesn't walk. If you stop watching the video and you're saying, Smitty said, avoid him 1 minute. Avoid him. Smitty said avoid him. Now he's saying buy him. LOL. Come on, man. Like, if you didn't make it to the end of the video, shame on you. Because I'm going to tell you why that makes no sense at all. Just because we allow someone else to overpay for an injury-prone player, a 28-year-old player that was probably not likely to play a full season, and we swoop in and take them when the owner's frustrated, already paid the high draft capital, that's what you call winning. Now get out of here. Go get it done.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios. It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live! Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Live whenever news breaks. Live at 8 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. Live whenever news breaks. See you all soon.